In a previous video, so many of you guys requested a tutorial on this look, and I'm so glad because this is my kind of makeup vibe. It's chic and clean and crisp, and I almost want to say minimal. Not necessarily in terms of the number of products used, but rather visually quite a minimal look. There's a lot of space for the eye to rest. I already did my skincare routine that morning, but I like to refresh the skin with a mist. It just gives a little bit of slip and hydration so that the foundation applies nicer. And then on a similar note, we're going to prep the lips because we're wearing a red lip today. Got to give that lip balm a minute or two to do its magic. Before I go in with foundation, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting with this Revlon concealer. It's sort of like a pale banana tone that does a really great job of brightening and balancing those dark red marks that you get from old blemishes. Such a fabulous drugstore find. I'm making a real point of decluttering my makeup collection and testing all of my foundations while in ISO. And this is one that I've rediscovered, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It's a little bit more matte than I typically go for, so I mix in a drop or two of the Dermalogica Phyto Replenish oil, and that way I get a dewy but long-lasting formula. For the most part, I would describe myself as a ride or die beauty blender kind of gal, but this sponge is a new offering from Colourpop, and you know what, so far, I'm pretty impressed. Maybe I'm a convert. The Hourglass Vanish Concealer for under the eyes, I blabbed a ton about this in my Concealer Quest video. What's that? You haven't seen my Concealer Quest video? I'm gonna link that on the screen. It's worth a watch if you like concealer. The more perfected the skin, the cleaner this entire makeup will translate. So feel free to spot conceal or maybe illuminate any shadowy areas, bring out your favorite concealers. All of your complexion tricks are welcome for this look. Let us sculpt the face. So we're gonna add a bit of contour along the cheekbone, hairline, temples, a little bit in the outer eye socket while we're here. So in this look, I forgo blush. And I know that many of you are gonna be appalled, but I tend to think of it like fashion. You know how they say in fashion, as you're leaving the house, you should look in the mirror and then take off an accessory? I do that with makeup. So I'll omit the blush, or I'll omit the mascara, and somehow it feels more understated and chic. Obviously, if you love blush, like girl, you do you, wear whatever makes you happy, but it's just something interesting to consider. Ooh, I rediscovered this Marc Jacobs highlight, and I promise I will never let it get buried in the back of the drawer again. This stuff is glossy cheekbones in a stick. So I'm really making a point to connect the highlight to the brow bone in a big C shape. No edges, cranking my head to make sure there are no edges, and then a dash of highlight on the cupid's bow. I also put a touch on the ball of the eyelid, the very center of the eyelid. This highlight is slightly tacky, so it's going to help my eyeshadow to stick. On that note, so many of you guys were like, what is that eyeshadow on your eyes? I can't look away. And I agree, it's beautiful. It's so cute. This is my current favorite glossy top coat. It's the perfect nude tone with just a hint of brightened peach. I honestly think this eyeshadow makes my eyes twinkle. Like my irises actually look more sparkly and it's not in my head. If you're looking for a more widely available alternative, I did a whole video on sparkly top coats. And I'm gonna link that on the screen. There is literally something for everyone in that video. Have any of you guys tried the new Fenty mascara? It's weird. It's weird, am I right? The wand fibers are so dense that it takes many passes to actually get the product on the lashes. When I went to edit this footage, I could not believe how long I spent coating my lashes. I think I zoned out. On a scale of 1 to Cara Delevingne paps, I want the brows to be a solid 6. A moderately bushy brow with lots of texture, but a lighter color. To achieve this, I like to use this Clinique pencil. The color is really ashy, but it's light. It's actually quite a difficult combo to find. Typically, really ashy brow pencils are super dark, and they tend to overwhelm my face, but this one, it's good. Whether you are using a brow pencil, brow powder, brow pomade, you can kind of tell the areas where the brow has been extended and there isn't any natural hair growing. And this, when I see it, you can't unsee it. It kills the illusion. So what I like to do is go in with a brow pen to create texture here and there, and it makes for a more convincing brow. To amp up the texture even more, we're going to brush the hairs up with some Pears Soap. Pears is my favorite soap for this technique. And if you're confused as to why I'm using soap in my brows, I have a video that answers all of your questions. I shall link it on the screen. Some of us, I would wager most of us, have blurry lip edges that can make our lipstick application look a little bit messy, even when we're being really neat. I am part of this category, so if I'm creating a really sharp, bold lip, I'll often use some concealer on the corners of the mouth and over the lip edge, just so that my lipstick looks extra crisp at the end. So many of you were dying to know what that lip color was that I was wearing in that video, and it is, drumroll, Huda Beauty Boy Collector, but it's part of her Demi matte range, which is not matte at all. It's got a really creamy finish and a lot of slip when you press your lips together. I will say that this formula has the tendency to bleed into those lip lines. So in future, I'm going to pair it with a lip pencil with a waxy texture that helps with bleeding. But for this look, I just use a brush to carefully carve those edges. As soon as I finished that lip, I was like, yep, this is it. This is my vision. I love the pop of color on an otherwise clean canvas. I love it paired with these pearls and the chunky cream knit. You really can't go wrong with this knit though. I mean, it is glorious. I could talk about it all day. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I appreciate it more than you know. If you like giveaways and houseplants and amateur nail art, then you should totally check out my Instagram at Karima McKimmie. If you like this video, then be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I shall be seeing you very soon. Bye.